So now one of your questions included sexual assault cases and medical evidence. Now here the doctor is playing an important part because the case is totally going to be based on medical evidence. And that's how the assault is going to be proved, right? So I have incorporated certain points. Let's go through that. Ministry of Health and Family Welfare has issued certain guidelines in such assault cases as to what the duties of the doctor is, how the medical evidence should be collected, samples have to be collected, how they will be preserved, till when they will be kept, because cases go for long. They are not going to get over in a jiffy, say in a 1 or 2 months. So how these, say for example, there is some DNA sample which is taken from the spot of the incidents, that has to be preserved till the court case goes on, right? So all these guidelines have been issued by the ministry. Second is standardized approach and treatment has to be given. Now you just can't collect the evidence and say, okay, the person who suffered, maybe not just physically, but mentally as well. It's called trauma. The person has to be given a proper treatment. And there has to be a proper standardized approach. In handling such cases, mostly, it's not just about the victim. It's not just about the accused. It's not only about the medical evidence. It is much, much more than that, because it connects these people with a lot of emotional turmoil. And not only the victim, but the parents of the victim are also involved in a lot of these stages, such as going to the hospital, say for collection of medical evidence, for giving samples, to attend the court. So there's a lot of, please understand that there's a lot of emotional parlance to the whole process. Hence, there has to be a proper approach and treatment has to be given properly. Documentation of cases of sexual violence. Now, it's an important duty of the doctor that he has to document the case well, because that is what is going to go as medical papers in the courts of law. So it's his responsibility to write down, jot down everything that he notices, even a scar or maybe some redness of skin and all such sort of things, because at the end of the day they are going to corroborate the story, prosecution story, and present the medical evidence before the courts of law. So documentation is very important part. Next, very important part is denying treatment is punishable offense. Even today, in many parts of the country, people hide such assaults. They hide such, incidences. Why? Because people are going to, say, oh God, what happened to her? Such kind of things. And there are many doctors who deny treatment. Now, when these certain types of cases started to happen, then law said nothing doing. It's a punishable offense. So it's a primary duty of the doctor to see to it that every patient gets treatment, whether it is a normal cough and cold or maybe an assault case. So denying treatment is a punishable offense and the doctor is responsible for it. As I mentioned before, DNA samples is biological evidence. It's with respect to forensic examination. Now, in such assault cases, if the victim is alive, well and good, the victim is going to tell what happened, narrate the whole incident maybe, and answer the questions that are put across during the trial. But if the person is not alive, most of the cases, such assaults take place and the person is killed, right? So the person is no more, the victim is no more, the victim is dead. Now, what will talk on her behalf is the evidence. Could be some skin uh, beneath her nails, maybe a hair follicle beneath her nails, or maybe the collected DNA samples. Could be any, could be a drop of blood, saliva. All these are biological evidences. which are taken for forensic examination to the FSL laboratory, forensic lab science laboratory, and then they generate reports. They identify the person. It could not only identify, but maybe the accused is known. So how do you connect the incident to the accused? You have to prove that. So all these biological evidences will help the prosecution in justifying the case. And guidelines are issued to emphasize a sensitive and humane approach. As I said, there's a lot of emotional trauma or the turmoil that the family, the victim undergoes. Say, for example, the accused has done nothing, and there's someone else who's done something wrong, and the accused was just on the spot and he got caught. Whether he's done anything or no, he is also going to face certain emotional turmoil. So, in that case, it is very important to have a sensitive and humane approach to victims. Proper treatment has to be given, and accurate recording of medical aspects has to be done. As I explained about the biological evidence, if this all is not documented properly, and if the doctor unknowingly misses out even a point of it, then the crime may not be able to connect, the prosecution may not be able to justify its story connecting the evidence and the accused, and the accused may go scot free, then again he may do some other crime. So it's important that documentation is very done properly, and this documentation ensures high quality evidence during criminal trials. As I mentioned about the forensic reports, about the collection of biological evidence, and etc.